good evening sa ating mga viewers and welcome to SNJ's RealTalk. I am your host Thea and we have Pastor John as our featured guest for this evening. So viewers, kung gusto nyo magbigay ng greetings sa ating comment box, maaaring mag-comment kayo. Say good evening, kamustahin nyo yung isa't isa kung magkakilala kayo dun sa comment box. And kung comfortable kayo, you can state where you are located. Kung taga Manila, taga Bulacan, taga Caloocan, etc. So Pastor John, before we proceed with our recap from last week's episode, meron po ba kayong opening remarks para sa ating audience for tonight?
This is the last episode that we are having for Relasyon Hindi Kunsumisyon, and we're going to talk about a very sensitive topic and commonly kasi ang sexual intimacy, it's something that a lot of people would like to discuss but they don't have the courage to discuss it. So it's very important that we place this as the last topic and emphasize kung saan siya applicable kasi kailangan natin ilugar ang sexual intimacy, of course. So I hope you will just listen, not be distracted, and again, we are providing you an alternative lifestyle if ever meron na kayong sinusunod na pattern for sexual intimacy and stuff. So it's very important for us to have that understanding na importante po talaga ang bagay na ito. Mamaya pag-uusapan natin siya kung saan siya importante, most importantly. Okay? So just listen in and I hope that you will be fully engaged.
Thank you so much, Pastor John, for greeting our audience for tonight. So just a quick recap for last week's episode. We talked about the arguments and yung religion aspect when it comes sa in a relationship status. So mapamag-jowa yan, live-in partner, or in married na kayo. So, our last episode or last topic is hot and steamy dahil nga sexual intimacy siya. Pero dahil mga Pilipino tayo, we, tend to be embarrassed or we tend to treat this as kind of taboo at hindi siya pinag-uusapan most of the time. And as far as I know, since I'm currently studying, sa curriculum na meron ngayon, lalo na sa DepEd to high school, parang wala na yung sinasabi na sex education. So, maraming bata ngayon na hindi aware. So, napupunta sa iba't ibang person or place in a website na they thought na ito yung thing about sexual intimacy. So, we're going to cover as much questions that we have, but we're going to cover yung pinaka-importante ng Pastor John. At least for the magjowa sa live-in at sa married couple. So, Papi, please take it away po.
Una sa lahat, yung category ng magjowa, there should be no sexual intimacy doon sa category na yon. Why? Because there's no commitment whatsoever into the relationship. At syempre, kung yung magjowa, they respect each other's boundaries, they should not insist in having sexual intimacy. Now, sabihin syempre, may pagka-backwards, not modern. Whatever you believe in, it's fine. What we're saying is we just want to protect you. Most especially from unwanted pregnancy. Most especially from sexually transmitted infections or diseases. Kasi commonly, yung mag-i-insist into having sexual intimacy are those who have experienced that already. And they will insist in a manner na i-emotional hostagein ka. Na sabihin nila, kung talagang mahal mo ko, bakit hindi mo ibigay? Diba, bakit hindi nga po ayaw mo makipag intercourse with me o makipag-coitus ka sa akin? Ngayon, kung talagang mahal ka niyang lalaking yan, okay, i-respect niya yung boundary mo. Hindi niya pagpipilitan na magkaroon kayo ng sexual intimacy because it's supposedly reserved for those who have a commitment into the relationship. That's why the relationship is better. Just to emphasize this, ang dami ng mga kabataan sa Pilipinas and worldwide na meron silang infection. Ang dami sa kabataan worldwide naka-experience sa unwanted pregnancy. Tapos iniwan nung nakabuntis. Gusto nyo ba yun? Diba? Pagkatapos kang kunin ng lalaki at nagtiwala ka, iniwan ka, so devastated ka. Kaya nga, there should be no sexual intimacy dun sa magjowa level for your own protection. And at the same time, it is a test of character na hindi dapat i-insist yan ng either of the party, mapalalaki, mapababae. There should be a boundary and it should be reserved once there is a commitment made for marriage. Okay? Call me old-fashioned, pero importante kasi na it happens within the bounds of marriage. Kasi out of the bounds of marriage, sexual intimacy technically is a sin as defined in the Bible. It is fornication. Pag mag-asawa na kayo, it becomes adultery. At syempre, hindi magandang umpisahan ang relationship ng merong kasalanan.
So I definitely agree with Pastor John. Again, we're not forcing anyone, our opinion sa inyo, pero kasi since we are part ng SNJ and this is one of our weekly segments, real talk lang. Ang Bible, sinasabi nga na committing premarital sex is wrong. Wrong. Wala talaga. Kahit baliktarin mo pa yan, it's still wrong. So, sa mga mag-jowa dito, I really advise na, kung gusto nyo talaga na maging safe, mag-date kayo somewhere, I think it would be best na meron kayong chaperone, diba? Dalhin nyo yung magulang o kaya yung nakakatandang kapatid. Siyempre, huwag kayong magdala ng chaperone na mas bata sa inyo. Kasi siyempre, pwede kayo sumimple. I did share this sa mga nakaraang episodes, pero again, I'm just gonna reiterate this for the sake ng mga bago nanonood na itong episode na ito is, product ako ng yan. Product ako ng masyado akong namadali sa sexual intimacy. Kasi nga, naalala ko yung mag-jowa kami ng ex ko noon. So, after that, nung nabuntis ako, eventually nag-abandon din yung father. So, di na siya nagpaparamdam at this time sa kanyang anak. So, wala na siyang binibigyan na kahit anong support. So, I don't want that to happen sa mga babae na nanonood nito. At sa mga teenagers na mas, younger than me physically right now. Kaya wag kayong masyadong maging invested pa dyan sa aspect na yan. We really advise na na if you are involved with that, it might be best na try nyo siyang itigil. Kaya pero kasi mahirap siya kapag ginagawa nyo na there's no turning back. May certain point na parang may attachment na kayo sa ganung bagay.
Dagdag ko lang, dito kasi sa sa trabaho ko ngayon, meron akong office mate, 4 silang babae na nagkamali sila doon sa sexual intimacy. So, nabuntis sila ng maaga. So, nag-struggle talaga sila. Hirap na hirap talaga sila. Iniwan din sila ng lalaki. So, meron sa kanila, nakakatawa yung storya kasi hindi lang siya isang beses nabuntis, 2 beses pa bago siya iniwan ng lalaki. And it was really a struggle for them being single moms. Grabe. Napakahirap. Ang hirap. But what they did was, they have this dream kasi na makatapos ng pag-aaral at magkaroon ng maayos na trabaho, mabigay yung basic necessities sa kanilang mga anak. So, nag-strive sila. One actually graduated from university at, I think, 37, 38 years old. The other one was about 40-ish. The other one is about early 30s kasi isa lang yung anak niya. And the other one, I cannot remember, pero I think mid-30s. So, grabe yung nawawalang taon. Ika nga yung term na ginagamit ko, nawawala yung bango ng babae. Lugi kadalasan ng babae. Kasi yung lalaki, they just can move on. And most especially kung walang kwentang lalaki, iiwan niya lang yung anak. I'm not saying that it will happen to everyone, but I'm saying is, based on statistics, mas maraming single mom kasera sa single dad. So magpakatotoo na lang tayo. If we are going to make our decision based on information, malaki ang probability kapag nag-insist ang lalaki to have sexual intimacy, hindi ka talaga mahal niyan at eventually iiwan ka niyan. So 2 of them actually did not just experience abandonment, they experienced family violence din. So ginugulpi sila nung lalaki. Dinadamay pa yung anak nila, ginugulpi rin yung anak. Okay? Kasi ang daming spectrum yan eh. Ang red flag kasi yan kung titignan mo. Bakit ini-insist niya yung sexual intimacy, di ba? Bakit may kailangan niya ma-exercise yung dominance niya? Kaya again, we are saying this to protect you. We are concerned. We don't want you to suffer from a decision that you can control. right now making. So if you are having that at hindi ka pa nabubuntis, we strongly recommend stop your relationship with that man. Leave that relationship because it's not really good. Lalo na kung estudyante pa lang kayo, nasa jowa relationship pa lang kayo, kahit let's say pareho kayong young professionals, kumikita kayo, there's no guarantee, okay, na they will keep their end of the bargain. They will support that child pag nabuntis ka. Or they will continue to love you after nilang makuha yung gusto nilang makuha sa'yo. Right? Peace.
So true, Papi. So, nag-agree talaga ako dyan. Kaya mga girls dito talagang mag-ingat kayo. Lalo na kapag sa mga magjowa pa lang or yung ano lang, yung wala pa talaga kayong commitment, di pa kayo engaged or di pa kayo married at all. So, as much as possible, iwasan nyo yun. We don't want, wag na kayong dumagdag sa statistics ng mga single moms kasi mahirap yung buhay ng single mom. Although, I'm not to say na mahirap talaga yung buhay ng single mom kasi I'm still being supported ng mga parents ko. A lot of people are supporting me and my son. Pero mas mahirap kasi yung mga ibang kakilala ko na single women or I mean single moms, no? Na they're on their own. Biruin mo sa kanila yung gastos. Kung nag-rent sila, extra rent. Kung nag-aaral anak, tuition fee, check-up sa doctor. So, we don't want that to happen to the ladies. So, to the women out there, please, stop it kapag meron kayong ganyang klaseng relationship. It's not good. It's definitely a red flag. Kasi kung totoo mahal ka ng lalaki, he will respect your boundaries. At aantayin talaga yung tamang panahon for sexual intimacy.
So, we'll go towards naman sa next category, no, yung live-in relationship. Again, we have to make a stand because this is our belief, a lifestyle that we espouse and embrace because it protects the bounds of yung intimacy ng both parties. So, we would never recommend having sexual intimacy in live-in relationships because again, there's no bound commitment, there's no contract. And it's actually a sin, according to the Word of God, to be in a live-in relationship and have, of course, may sexual intimacy. So again, it's called fornication, according to the Word of God. And hindi talaga maganda if we are going to continue living in sin. People will say, no, it's not a sin. So that's you. And we respect that if that is your view. And we will not force you to believe what we believe in. But it's for your own protection and for the protection of your children as well. Kasi hindi ko maarok, let's say yung lalaki, karoon siya ng anak, tapos okay lang sa kanya na yung anak niyang babae mag-live-in relationship. Ngayon, kung kayo ay married, nag-live-in relationship yung mga anak niyo, wala tayong magagawa because that's their decision. Pero following the footsteps of that relationship, kung ako ay nanggaling sa live-in relationship, will I allow my children to be in a live-in relationship? Siyempre, double standard naman yun, di ba? Ang pangit naman tingnan. You are not exercising your role as a model to your children. So, we will reserve sexual intimacy for married couples, for the marriage bed. So, meron ka bang gustong malaman o gustong tanong or gustong pag-usapan, Thea, about sexual intimacy based on the marriage bed?
Well, Papi, kung ganun, kasi diba we're standing according sa Bible, no? So, magjowa and mag-live-in, technically speaking, pag sinasabi sa Bible, bawal yun. Or hindi man bawal, it's a sin. Pwede mong gawin you're permitted to do. Pero ang tanong dyan kung if it will benefit you. Okay? And again sa viewers, disclaimer lang ulit, wala kaming pinipilit na mindset here or any opinions sa inyo. This is what just the Bible says. We're just stating facts na nag-ayon sa Panginoon. So, Papi, sa mag-live-in relationship kasi, parang ang hirap. Kasi, naisip ko lang, dahil wala naman silang contract ng commitment na they're going to be for each other till the end, tapos nag-engage sa sexual relationship, parang ang hirap ng takbo nun. Kasi, I don't know, sex kasi is something na intimate between a man and woman, no? Tapos magiging mas invested ka sa tao kapag ginagawa na yun. So I cannot just imagine na kung magli-live-in kayo, parang hirap na iwasan yun. Kasi magkasama kayo sa isang bahay, sa isang kwarto. So, ano bang mabibigay mong payo doon? Would you advise na yung mag-live-in ay eventually talagang kailangan nilang magkasal para, to make their conscience clear? Ano ba mga sabi mo tungkol doon?
Yeah, so meron akong kaibigan. They were new to being Christians. And na-mention niya sa akin na hindi sila kasal. He was about 62 or 63 at that time, years old. And yung asawa niya was about 55 kasi medyo malaki yung gap nila. Sabi ko sa kanya, kapatid, alam natin na mali siya. Pero advanced na kami sa taon eh. Tagal na namin nag-live-in. Tanggap naman to ng pamilya ko. Tanggap naman ng mga anak namin along the way. And hindi naman ako, naging unfaithful sa wife ko. Sa kanya. But still, it's a sin. So, according to the Bible, and you are a believer now, so Christian ka na. So, I would suggest na magpakasal kayo. Ano mo wala pa nagpakasal kayo. Wala, di ba? And then you will be rightfully married. And you will be a very good example dun sa mga anak mo na hindi pa kasal. Because you actually understood the value of obedience kay Lord. Sabi ko sa kanya. So, ginawa niya ngayon, pinuntahan niya asawa niya after that Sunday's service. Nag-usap sila. The following Sunday, sabi niya sa akin, magpapakasal kami. Sabi ko, good on you. Sabi ko sa kanya gano'n. So, medyo mabagal yung processing nung kanilang application sa City Hall. So, I think it took about 4 or 6 weeks ata bago sila nagkaroon ng schedule sa West. Tapos, after nilang magpakasal, kinuwento sa akin nitong kaibigan kong ito, at that time was about 62 or 63 years old. Sabi niya, alam mo, hindi ako sumiping sa asawa ko. During that time, naintindihan na asawa ko na hindi namin dapat ipagpatuloy yung ginagawa namin sexually until finally we are married. So, nagkaroon sila ng honeymoon at that age. Meron silang 3 anak, meron silang negosyo, maayos ang buhay nila. But there was something amiss doon sa kanilang life, and that was hindi sila kasal. So, it's an amazing story that I normally tell people because it's something that I witnessed. And it's something na nakita ko, grabe yung blessing after nilang magpakasal. Nakita mo yung kapayapaan, nakita mo yung unity ng family, yung kanilang mga anak na dala nila sa church. It was just amazing to see the whole family together on a Sabbath day. You can see the dynamics of the family changing, all because they decided to do the right thing. Kaya nga, when you decide to do the right thing, nothing will go wrong.
That's a very beautiful story, Papi, na, well, I heard that before, pero I'm sure yung audience natin, this is the first time you heard this story, or kung meron man kayong common story na narinig, then, all good for you, diba? Pero ang ganda nung example na yun, and it's not man-made, hindi siya fictional, pwede pala talaga. So, ibig sabihin talaga dito, yung mga live-in couples na possibly watching this segment, there is still hope for you. Pwede pa rin magpakasal kahit na sobrang tagal nyo nang magkasama. Biruin nyo, mga senior citizen na to, technically speaking eh. Are they still alive, Papi, at this time? Do you have any idea?
No idea eh. Wala na kasi kami ng contact after I left that former church of mine.
Ayun. So, I don't know if that couple is still, alive at this time. Kasi, I think Papi was younger during that time. So, 20 years or 20 plus years have passed already. Pero still, yung legacy nila, it has definitely left a significant memory sa mga tao na naka-witness nun. And si Papi ay isa sa mga naka-witness nun. So, viewers, again, we're not forcing you, pero there is still what we call this as a blessing kapag talaga nag-proceed kayo sa marriage. Mas nakikita yung perks ng marriage kaysa sa live-in. And clearly speaking from the story ni Pastor Jan nung dating live-in to married na sila, I'm sure na yung couple na yun, kahit mga senior citizen na sila by age, sobrang na-enjoy nila yung remaining years ng marriage life nila. Wala naman ng question so far about the marriage bed and whatnot. Pero anything significant you think that you may need to share tonight?
Okay, so for those who are married, what needs to stop muna tayo? Okay, number one, what needs to stop kung kayo ay nagpo-porn. Because watching porn actually destroys the intimacy. Watching porn perverts yung sexual act. Okay, so I remember one of my friends nagpa-counsel sa akin and dinala niya yung lalaki sa counseling session. Yung lalaki, dahil nanonood siya ng porn, gusto niya ng anal sex. Ayaw ng babae ng anal sex. So one night, finorce siya noong husband niya na mag-anal sex. So syempre nasaktan siya, hindi siya nag-enjoy. Okay, so kaya ang ginawa niya, tinawag niya ako for counseling session. So sabi ko sa kanila, nanonood ka ba ng porn, husband? Sabi niya, opo. Ikaw, wife, nanonood ka ba ng porn? Hindi po. So, ang porn kasi destroys intimacy. Yung connection, yung love connection. Kasi pinipervert niya yung actions. Diba? So, minsan yung nanonood ng porn, gusto niya threesome. Hindi nga pwede yun eh. Pag married ka, it's only between you and your spouse. Tapos magdadala ka ng third party doon sa sexual act. So, mali siya. So, that needs to stop. You need to stop perverting the sexual act kasi it destroys intimacy. Also, ikaw, as a person, it destroys you internally. Kasi nga, perverted na yung perspective mo of what is pleasurable. Kasi yun yung napapanood mo, yun yung finifeed mo sa utak mo. So, stop watching porn. Pangalawa, that you need to stop is stop assuming. Okay? Stop assuming na ito yung gusto ng asawa mo. Stop assuming na hindi ito gusto. Stop assuming because you're not asking any questions. So, those are the two things that you need to stop. Watching things that perverses the sexual intimate act, and stop assuming certain things during the course of your marriage with regards to sexual intimacy. The thing that you need to start doing is communicating. Pag-usapan nyo kung ano ang acceptable dun sa marriage bed that will enliven yung intimacy. Okay? Meron kasing mga mga lalaki gusto nila ng public sex. Pwede kang mahuli, pwede kang makulong. Bakit mo gusto 'yun? Hindi ko maintindihan kasi nanonood, 'di ba, ng mga perverse flicks, blah blah blah. Diba? So nasisira nga talaga yung intimacy. Especially if you are if you are in that relationship na married kayo, please respect each other and love each other. Diba? Ano ba ibig sabihin ng love? Diba? It's not about what you get. It's about what you give into the relationship. Ano ba yung agape? Unconditional acceptance of everything that is permissible according to the Bible. That enlivens intimacy and strengthens the relationship, not destroys the relationship, and both are in agreement. Yun yung magandang wrap around sa relationship, yung agape love. So, start communicating. Start talking about things na gusto nyo, na intimate sa inyo. Kung nahihirapan kayo, write it down. Diba? Bigay mo dun sa spouse mo yung sinulat mo. Or read it in your conversation. Or text it. Pero parang delikado kasi pag text baka marong send ka pa, di ba? May nasulat mo. But it is important to communicate. Stop assuming, stop perversing the intimacy of that act, and start communicating what works best sa inyong dalawa. So going back dun sa counsel ko, no? So kinounsel ko sila. And we went into that role play na ano ba yung gusto mo. So yung lalaki kasi nahihirapan siyang magsalita. So sabi ko sa kanya, talikod ka. Okay, sa spouse mo, sa wife mo. Tapos sabihin mo yung gusto mo. Tapos sabi nung spouse niya afterwards, yung spouse na kasi, yung wife, yung friend ko, nakaharap sa likuran ng lalaki kasi nahihirapan magsalita yung lalaki face to face. Nahihiya siya because of what has happened as an incident. And they were able to work it out. And hindi ako na-follow up. So, ibig sabihin, I think, I would assume naging okay sila. Kasi hindi na ako tinawag. Normally naman, mga kaibigan ko, pag kailangan lang ako . So I would assume na naging okay, and I would assume na nagkaroon ng magandang intimacy after that fact. So whatever you agree on the marriage bed, that is totally acceptable. Again, it's because you love each other, you want to spice up the relationship, you want to keep it fresh. So kung ano man yun ang pag-agrihan nyo, kung gusto nyo magbakasyon, gusto nyo pumunta sa hotel, gusto nyo gumamit ng gadget, gusto nyo gumamit ng enhancers, di ba? So it would really depend on how you would agree and what you need to continue doing so that the sexual intimacy will continue to flourish long after the 7-year age, kung bago pa na kayong mag-asawa, long after your 25th anniversary together, if you're still alive, di ba? You can you can change things up. You can do a lot of things to keep it fresh. Do your research. Continue doing research. Continue discussing with your spouse kung anong gusto nila, what they would want to happen, what they would want to do, and respect the boundaries that they set. Okay? So that's very important. So isang incident na nag-counsel ako. So vaginal sex sila pero nasasaktan yung girl. Okay, akala nung guy yung yung moaning niya na inassume nung guy na moaning ay pleasure. Hindi niya na-realize nung guy na ito pala ay pain. So sabi ko sa kanila, simple lang ang solusyon dyan. Bumili lang kayo ng lubricant. Gumamit kayo ng lubricant that you would agree to use, diba, during the sexual act, and I believe it will enliven the intimacy. Kasi syempre, kailangan proper yung physical response ng katawan, babae man o lalaki. Diba? Para magkaroon talaga sila ng magandang encounter. So, pwede pag-usapan. Kung hindi kayang pag-usapan, pwede kayong magpa-counsel. Okay? By the way, I don't give free counseling. Okay, I have a fee. So if you want to be counseled by me, I'm a professional. So you can approach me or approach Thea to bridge you guys to me, and we can actually do counseling even over Zoom or even over Messenger. Kasi it's very important. Most often than not kasi spouses will not come to counseling because they think it's really taboo to talk about it. And ako personally kasi, I just want to see couples working it out sexually, being intimate. Kasi, one of the top 3 reasons kung bakit nagkakaroon ng paghihiwalay. Sex, money, basta kalimutan ko na yung third aspect. Okay? I think spending time ata or quality time ata is ang third reason I have forgotten. So it's actually beautifully made by God. Yung sexual intimacy kasi, that's the time wherein 2 people become one. And it glorifies the relationship. And it's actually an act of worship according to the Bible because you are doing what you have been intended to do. And of course, ang result niyan is reproduction. Doon sa walang medical issues, of course. I'm not saying na pag hindi ka nakapag-reproduce, there's something amiss. What I'm saying is that's the main point of marriage, to reproduce, to create a lineage. But if you are not successful in that respect, it's also fine because you still have each other. And you can continue on enriching your relationship through sexual intimacy that you have agreed together, bound in love, so that you may enrich, enliven, and keep fresh your relationship. Yung romance, alive na alive.
So viewers, you heard everything that you need to hear for tonight. Actually, ako kasi personal, dahil di pa naman ako married, I don't really have questions na I can ask Pastor John in regards sa marriage. But if our viewers for tonight has questions or you can comment it. Pero kung medyo nahihiya kayo mag-comment down below dito sa ating premiere, you can message us at SNJPH and I can, help you reach out kay Pastor John if you have any inquiries about this kind of topic. Lalo na sa mga married couples kasi yun nga, again, I'm gonna reiterate, sa Filipino culture kasi natin, nako-consider siya as taboo. And parang sinishame na yung tao na pag pinag-uusapan tong bagay na to. Yun nga. Pero I would agree sa sinabi ni Pastor Jan na sinasabi niya nga na the couple has to, agree on something that they want to do on the marriage bed. Although I don't have that kind of experience kasi again, di pa ako married, single mom na ako. I think Papi, you're talking about, diba, yung kung ano man na pag-usapan, like, gagamit ba sila ng contraceptives, gagamit ba sila na mga adult toys, ayun. Meron ba tayong nire-restrict na Kasi, paano ko ba tatanungin to? Sorry, viewers, for the lack of term na lang. Sa married couples, allowed naman sila to do any position when they do sex, diba? Wala naman parang bawal dun, no? Okay. So, yun. So, viewers din nga, I just wanted to clear things out here para alam ng viewers kung meron ba talagang bawal ginagawa. As long as, again, nag-agree yung man and woman na they want this because they love each other. Dahil, hindi dahil napipilitan sila. So, ayun. So, Papi, nagpapasalamat po kami sa iyong words of wisdom for tonight's segment po namin. And I'm sure na maraming natutunan ang ating audience in terms sa sexual intimacy. So, this concludes our Relasyon, Hindi Kunsumisyon series. So, before we say our farewell and goodbye, Papi, meron ka po bang additional closing remarks para sa ating audience?
Again, just to emphasize, whatever has been agreed upon, for as long as, syempre, walang threesome, walang third party involved, kasi that's a perversion of the sexual intimacy ng couple. Okay? It should be just you and your spouse. Just to emphasize that. And of course, don't hesitate to seek counseling. It's all worth it. It's all worth it. I would not say I am actually an expert in terms of sex and the act of intimacy in sex. No, I am not. But what I am an expert is in relationships that would last. That's very, very important to note. Diba? Hindi ako, I'm not a sex therapist or whatever. But I am an expert in relationships that really works. So, huwag kayong mag-hesitate magpa-counsel. It's worth it. Sinasabi ko sa inyo, yung mga na-counsel ko who were willing to actually heed yung suggestions, they worked out fine. So don't hesitate. And hindi naman ako yung tipo na after one session, blah, 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 we have to have an additional 8 sessions for that. No. Katulad nga sinasabi ko sa inyo, twice experience na one time lang kami ni session, tapos hindi na bumalik. So, I mean, I'm assuming that everything went well. So, again, I would like to emphasize our belief system. We're not forcing this on you, but sexual intimacy, I believe, is best reserved for married couples. And how it impacts eventually their children, if they would have their children, but more so yung kanilang emotional well-being.
Thank you so much, Pastor John, for your closing remarks for tonight. And as well, salamat sa ating viewers who, watch the Relasyon, Hindi Kunsumisyon series from the beginning until the end. Kudos po sa inyo. Nagpapasalamat kami ng sobra-sobra sa iyong suporta. And again, if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe to our SNJ PH page, and tag your friends, share this content for those who needs to hear this. And again, Papi, nagpapasalamat kami for being our guest for SNJ's RealTalk. And sa mga regular viewers natin para sa weekly segment na ito, the Castro couple will be back after this episode. And muli, this is Thea and we have Papi, and I hope na you enjoy the rest of the evening and God bless us all. Bye-bye po!